Hi, hello, how are you? I just quit my job. But I literally just quit. Mark the day, August 13th, 2:43 p.m. I quit my job, and most of those people, no, I'm not gonna go there.
And I was like, so I don't know how to say this. I'm quitting.
Hey y'all, it's me, Jewel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If it's not your first time here, thank you so much for coming back. If you like lifestyle, spirituality, adulting content, then this is the place for you, and you might as well go ahead and subscribe. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title of the video, I kind of hate when YouTubers say that.
As you can tell by the title.
And it's like, yeah, that's why I clicked on it, so I'm not gonna say that. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the fact that I quit my job again. So I am 23 years old and I graduated in May of 2020, and I have quit my second job in the past like year and a half since I graduated, and I am so trash at giving a 2 weeks notice, and like I know that. And my goal at my second job, if I do end up quitting, is to give a 2 weeks notice. I just stayed for so long until I reach my breaking point and I become homicidal that I quit on the spot, and I should really stop doing that. But that's not what today's video was about. So let's get into why I quit my job. There seems to be this whole phenomenon of people quitting their job, especially millennials, which I'm not a millennial. I'm like an older Gen Z person, but I feel like I identify more with millennials. But anyway, there's more millennials who are quitting their jobs like every single day. Like I always see these videos popping up on my YouTube page like, I quit my job without a plan, why I quit my $140,000 IT job, or like I quit my nursing job, I quit my lawyer job. Like everyone is quitting their jobs, and it's mostly honestly people who are in a privileged position who can quit their job. Like hello, myself included. So the real question is like, why are we all quitting our jobs? I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I can definitely speak for myself. I'm a Taurus, so contrary to popular belief, I'm not quitting because I'm lazy. I'm not. I know that's hard to believe, right? Like if like that would make more sense. Like I'd be okay with admitting that I quit jobs because I'm lazy, because I would blame that on my earth sign placement. But that's not even why I'd be quitting jobs for real. I think the main reason why I've ended up quitting my most recent job, which was a great job, it paid well, management was fine. Girl, I just couldn't do it anymore. So then I sat down, you know, did some shadow work or whatever, and I was like, the main reason why I think I keep quitting jobs, the main reason why I especially quit this most recent job that I quit, is because in typical Taurus fashion, like your bitch is tired. And you're like, Jewel, what does that mean? I'm just so tired. Jewel, what are you tired of? Bro, life. Shit is tiring, exhausting. So let's get into the main reason why I quit my job, and why I think a lot of people have quit their job even though they're not saying this is why they quit their job. I ended up quitting my most recent job. I didn't even say what I do. Hi, my name is Jewel, and for the past like year and a half, I worked as a laboratory technician. My most recent job was working in a molecular biology lab because I have a BS in biology, so I finally decided to use it, and that's what I was doing for the past about year and a half. That's not what this part of the video is about. So this part of the video is about I quit because, like I said, I'm tired. And you're like, Jewel, what are you tired of? And I said, life. And the thing is that like I realized that I'm burnt out, and I made a video maybe like a couple months ago where it was called Healing Burnout, when I was trying to like heal over and sort of get over my burnout, because I realized I was burnt out. My therapist realized I was burnt out, and so I took 2 weeks off of work like as a mental health leave because that's how bad it was getting. And it kind of like, it helped a little bit, but like not as much as I needed it to. And then in about 3 months time, I ended up right back in the same spot, just a tired ass, burnt ass bitch. I ended up right back in the same spot, but even worse than before, because I realized how insanely unhappy I was with working, and how insanely unhappy I was with spending 40 hours a week, more than 40 hours a week working, commuting, and all of that stuff, when I felt like I was missing out on life, and I was missing out on so many things that I didn't get to do. So let's go back to the burnout part though. So I'm burnt out, and I think a lot of people are burnt out, and we're noticing that we're burnt out because when I was like 7, I guess, elementary school, I decided I wanted to be a doctor. Jewel, what does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with everything, so hear me out. I decided I wanted to be a doctor when I was really young. I was always a very ambitious person. I like STEM, blah, blah, blah. As we all know, STEM, not easy. Science, technology, engineering, math. Worst subjects ever, but I dedicated my life to them for the past like damn near 20 years. And you know, as soon as I decided I wanted to be a doctor, obviously that comes with a lot of hard work, especially in school. So from middle school, high school, college, I've spent the past like 15 years going ham on everything that I've done, specifically academically, because that's what I've been doing for so long. So I've spent so much time trying to do the best at my assignments, playing sports, having a part-time job. I had a part-time job in high school. I had like a million jobs in college. Like, what the cocaine was I on in college? I had all these things that I was constantly working on and constantly trying to be like so good at. Again, just going since like elementary school. And I realized we don't get a break from that. Like, none of us really do. So the main way society is set up is you go into school at like pre-K or like 5, 4, some shit like that. You go to elementary school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, you go to college, and you start working. And there's not really a break in between all of that. We're just expected to keep going and giving our best to all these different things. And just go. And it's not really noticeable when you're in school because you're kind of, there's so many other, I guess, band-aids, that's what we'll call them. There's so many other band-aids while you're in school so that you don't really realize how absolutely ludicrous this is that we've been in school. How long were we in school? Like 15 years, I think, from elementary school to college. That's such a long time. And it's just constant, it's constant. But like I was saying, whoa. Hello, the sun just decided to come out. Okay, so like I was saying, so all the band-aids that you have, so when you're at home, I thought I turned this off.
You're killing me, Smalls.
All the band-aids that you have while you're in school, up from literally pre-K until college, if you went to college or high school, or like whenever you go to school. Shit, even grad school, like people go to more school. The band-aids are, you have constant vacations. You have summer vacation, you have winter break, you have Thanksgiving break, you have fall break, and you have the support of your family, especially when you're like in high school. So you might have a hard day at school, but you don't gotta think about what to eat tonight because your mama's gonna fix it. You don't gotta think about how you're gonna get to school because the bus is gonna take you. You don't gotta worry about bills getting paid because someone's gonna pay them for you. And even when you're in college, there's all these small little band-aids you don't realize help so much. So yeah, you're in school, but you never have to clean a bathroom. You know, you have maintenance for that. You can walk to the gym, it's right down the street. You don't have to get in your car and drive, and it's like, and you know you have something to look forward to. Like, oh, school sucks, but I have fall break to look forward to. That's gonna give me a break, that's gonna give me a relief. It's gonna relieve some of that pressure. It's gonna like add a band-aid to the fact that you're possibly burnt out and give you the time to heal that burnout. But once you graduate college, like, you don't get that. Like, you don't really get the band-aids anymore. There's no fall break, there's no winter break. Bitch, last year I was working on Christmas Eve. That was the most ghetto shit I've ever encountered in my life. I was so upset. So there's less band-aids, and then on top of that, I live by myself now, so everything I need to do, it falls on me. The house is dirty, I need to clean it. You're hungry, I need to cook or order some food. You're out of food, I need to go to the grocery store. And it's a lot less support that you have from friends and family once you entered like the real working, adulting world. And I feel like then all of the, like, how tired I've been for the past lord how many years just really caught up to me because there was no relief of all of that pressure. It was all on me all of the time, and I was still expected to go to work and interact with people I don't give a shit about and like be happy about it. And also, did you know burnout takes 3 to 5 years to heal? I thought I could fix burnout in 2 weeks by just like being home and relaxing and watching TV, and I kept feeling like I was losing my mind. I couldn't figure out why, and ultimately it came down to the fact that I'm tired. I know maybe that sounds lazy to some people and it sounds really privileged, and I don't know, maybe it is, but I was just really tired all of the time, and I was turning into someone who was not myself. I had coping mechanisms that were things that I've never done before and things I said I would never do. And I was like, I see how people become alcoholics. Not that I was one, but I'd get off work like, damn, I really need a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, and I also read an article that I believe it said 3.9 million people in June quit their jobs because we're tired. And there's one thing the pandemic has taught a lot of people is that, one, there's so many different ways to make money. 2, our employers and our government don't give a shit about us. 3, there's no reason for us to spend hours a week commuting to the job when we don't have to. 4, friends and family are a lot more important than money. And 5, life is hella actually short, as people say, and it's really precious. And if anything that 2020 has taught us is, I feel like, all 5 of those things at once. And so people are starting to prioritize their happiness, their mental health, and their physical health over working. And that's a beautiful thing, but also it's a very frustrating thing because even though 3.9 million people in 1 month in America alone quit their jobs, it still seems like it's something that goes against the grain to quit your job and say, I need a break. Shit, if Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka can take a break, you deserve a break too. I damn sure do. bitch is tired. So ultimately, what led to me quitting? Let's get into it. Like I already said, I had signs of burnout months ago and I thought I could heal it with like a little 2-week vacation or whatever. The place I worked for was very compensating for that. I was really honest. I was like, hey, I'm about to lose my shit. I originally wanted to just work part-time because I felt like I could manage working part-time, but working full-time was becoming damn near impossible for me. So I asked if I could work part-time and they were like, no, you can't, because the way company policy or whatever the fuck is set up. So I was like, so what are we gonna do? Because I'm getting really close to committing homicide. Not to anyone here, but possibly myself. So like, what are we gonna do about that? And so they said what they could do is give me 2 weeks off. If I needed any more off, I need a doctor's note, which I didn't have. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll take the 2 weeks off. Like, it'll be great. I took the 2 weeks off. I felt fine. Absence did not make the heart grow fonder. When my 2 weeks was off, I was really irritated that I had to go back. But I was like, you know, we're gonna make the best of it. And I started planning to quit because I was like, my time here is going to be coming to an end. So I started aggressively saving because I was like, I'm probably going to need to quit soon because I'm just tired. I don't know what's going on. Something needs to give. And I already had this idea of giving myself a break before. I just wanted to save like a good chunk of money before I did that, so I could just spend a couple months like just existing, not worrying about finding a job, not worrying about applying a job, all that good jazz. So ultimately, yeah, I was burnt out. I still am burnt out and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that. Next, also going with the job that I had, I ended up taking over someone else's job because surprise, surprise, they quit. And the department I work for is really tiny. Like, I have 2 managers, there's this person, and then there was the girl who quit, and then there was me. So when the girl quit, I realized, like, they told me she put in her 2 weeks and she was going to quit. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, that has nothing to do with me. Like, we're not friends, I don't care. And then she'd be like, hey, Jewel, like, come over here, let me show you how to do this. And I was like, okay. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my God. I was like, they're going to have me take over her position. Bruh! I was like, oh shit. And so even my hours got changed, and then next thing I knew, I was taking over her position. And the reason I have that visceral reaction to it is because when I first started working there, my primary thing was COVID. I did COVID testing, I did PCR testing and paperwork for COVID, and I actually kind of liked it. I was enjoying my job at that point. And then the girl whose job I took over, she did gastrointestinal testing. And let me just put this real bluntly, a big part of her job is that she had to test, I had to test
human fecal samples.
Yeah, you heard that correctly, human fecal samples. And when I started taking over her job, I even went to my manager and I was like, hey, you guys said you were hiring someone else to work back here, right? And they're like, yeah, we're working on it, we're doing interviews. I was like, okay, cool. So can they do this? Because I don't want to. And I understand a job isn't about what you do and don't want to do. In a way, I guess I signed up to do that because, like, you know, it was part of the molecular biology department. But when y'all hired me, y'all told me I was gonna be doing COVID. I haven't done COVID in like 2 months, and I've only been doing gastrointestinal testing, and I don't like it. If I would have known this what my job was going to turn into, like, I wouldn't have taken it, if we're just being honest. I didn't say that to them, but I did tell them, I was like, I really don't want to do this. So when you hire someone else, can they do this? And like, I will do literally everything else in this lab but that. Like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, yeah, sure, like, we can totally see what we can set up. 6 months later, no one had been hired, and I took on even more responsibilities in that department with no pay raise, mind you. No pay raise at all, but that's besides the point. So that also led to me reaching my breaking point, is like dealing with human shit every day when I didn't sign up to do that. Ew, who the fuck wants to do that? That's probably why she quit. Like, that's gross. I was the youngest person to work in that whole company, but I was the youngest person, so I felt like for the most part I didn't really relate to anyone there. So I would do like most of my work in silence. Like, I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would just have my headphones in. I don't know how to explain it. They weren't mean people, but they definitely weren't my friends, like not even really associates. Like, it was literally just people I was forced to be around for like 8 hours a day. And so that got really tiring and frustrating because I would just listen to music and podcast all day because I had no one to talk to, and I didn't want to work in silence for like 8 hours a day. They were all buddy and friends and stuff, and they would be having their little side conversations and a kiki king and their inside jokes. So I was just sitting there like, I want to go home. And I had an hour break where I worked. I would starve myself all day, like skip my hour break, so skip my lunch break just so I can go home early. Like, on multiple occasions I would do that. I just wanted to go home so fucking bad all the time. So yeah, and you're probably thinking, Jewel, you could have just went in there, did your job, and get out. And that's what I did for months. That's what I have been doing for months, like 6 months. Giving the absolute bare minimum, talking to no one, getting my check and leaving. But that is no way to live life. Like, I'm sorry, it's really not. And what really led to me quitting ultimately is that I quit on a Thursday, and this happened on a Tuesday. I was driving home. I was like, I fucking hate my job. It sucks. I wish I didn't have to go. And I was driving home and I was like, I really wish that this big ass Mack truck would just hit me. Like, I don't need to die or nothing, but like enough injuries that I didn't have to go to work, and I wanted to be their fault so they'd have to pay for it, because you know, insurance in America. And then I was sitting there driving and I was like, did you just wish harm upon yourself so you don't have to go back to work? That was like strike 45. And then I got home and I sat in my shower and I just cried, like ugly crying. So in the middle of this mental breakdown, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm so crazy. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with me. Like, I'm so mentally ill. And then a little voice said, you're doing something that you fucking hate for over 40 hours a week. Anyone would be upset. And then it just clicked. I was like, I gotta quit. It clicked. And so that was on Tuesday. Wednesday, I called out to give myself a breather and like try to like regulate my emotions and see how I felt. And then Thursday, I just went in and quit. I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. If I'm leaving work and I'm wishing physical harm upon myself, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore. Like, I have to go. So I did. And I went in, very short story. I said, hey, so sorry. You guys have been great. Thank you for the opportunity. I can't work here anymore. And I'm really sorry I cannot give a 2 weeks notice. Like, I planned on giving a 2 weeks notice. I just couldn't make it. I didn't make it. I mean, you can do all things through Christ which strengthens you. I just didn't make it. I didn't want to make it. And I was okay with that. They were very nice and understanding there, because I think also since I took the 2 weeks off and I was honest about how my mental health was in the shitter, they were just very understanding. They didn't seem mad, you know. They probably talked mad shit about behind my back, because that's what they would do. They don't got shit to do with me now, because I don't go there no more. And you know, they said if you ever need help in the future, you just let us know. It's very unfortunate that you can't, you know, stay. And I said, yeah, I know, and I'm really sorry about that.